Finally, guys, President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Elon Musk are clapping back and they're putting Democrats in their place. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's been a perfect gentleman, even when the liberal protesters harassed him while he was out with his 3-year-old daughter, called out former Vice President Kamala Harris in a recent interview, saying that even though he's being criticized by the left, he still cannot relate to drinking 4 shots of vodka before every meeting, which he said would be necessary to answer word salad questions like Kamala Harris. I mean, where's the lie, right? He also speculated that Kamala Harris and former President Joe Biden did not place very much trust in each other, and that's why the former vice president felt less empowered to do her job, unlike him with President Trump. Meanwhile, comedian Bill Burr made a total joke of himself on The View when he tried going after Elon Musk, saying that the Tesla CEO, the guy who's making electric cars for people, is going to trash the earth because the billionaire allegedly had no concern for the planet. Ridiculous, right? Then again, so is the liberal anger that's aimed at Elon Musk since President Donald Trump took office and put the Tesla X and SpaceX owner in charge of the newly formed Department of Government Efficiency to reduce government spending. As White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said, their hatred for Donald Trump fuels everything that they do, and it's the only reason for the Democratic Party today. Elon Musk himself said it really has come as quite a shock to him that there is this level of real hatred and violence from the left. I mean, what else are they good for, right? Well, President Trump has an idea, as he gave a pretty witty remark recently about the only thing that he admired in his predecessor, Joe Biden, which was the former president's unique ability to quickly fall asleep. Now, what did I tell you guys? It's the Democrats roast, and we got front seats to the show, guys. So stick around, guys. This is going to be a big one. So starting with Vice President J.D. Vance giving a masterclass in roasting when he talked about how he's handling the job compared to his predecessor, Kamala Harris. Here, take a listen.
And how it's different with each presidency. How are you doing the job differently than Kamala did it?
Well, I don't have 4 shots of vodka before every meeting. That's one way I think that Kamala really tried to bring herself into the role is these word salads, and I think that I would need the help of a lot of alcohol to answer a question the way that Kamala Harris answered questions. I mean, look, man, I don't know. My sense is, and this is a little bit of guesswork, obviously, I don't talk to Kamala Harris or Joe Biden very often, but my sense is that there wasn't a level of trust between Biden and Harris, and so she was just less empowered to do her job. And, luckily I'm in a situation where the president trusts me, where if he asks me to do something, he believes it's going to happen. And obviously, we'll talk about it and check in. But I feel empowered in a way that I think a lot of vice presidents haven't been. But that's all in the service of accomplishing the president's vision. And I think I try to remind myself of that, every single day, that the American people elected Donald J. Trump to do a job. For him to do that job successfully, the people around him, starting at the top with the vice president, have to do their jobs well.
Okay, so this was with Daily Caller editorial director Vance, and he was answering the question, how are you doing the job differently than Kamala Harris did? Now, right from the get-go, the vice president said, well, I don't have 4 shots of vodka before every meeting. He said that he would need the help of a lot of alcohol in order to answer a question the way that Kamala Harris answered questions. This coming from J.D. Vance's sense that there wasn't a level of trust between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, so she was less empowered to do her job. But of course, for J.D. Vance, luckily, he said he's in a situation where President Donald Trump trusts him, where if he asks him to do something, he believes he's actually going to get it to happen. Now, honestly, this makes so much sense considering how Kamala Harris mostly avoided interviews during her 2024 presidential run. This is something that a lot of critics say is because of her tendency to divulge or delve into lengthy word salads when even asked about simple things such as policy. I mean, here's just a few examples that I was able to find for you guys.
I think it's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past but the future.
Because none of us just live in a silo. Everything is in context. My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
Man, we could just go on and on and on. There was even that time in 2022 where Kamala Harris began talking about the significance of the passage of time without it really going anywhere. After the Russia-Ukraine war broke out, the then vice president explained that Ukraine is a country in Europe that happens to be smaller than Russia. The exact quote, "It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine, so basically that's wrong." Oh, and then of course there was the time when she was asked about how she planned to make life more affordable. She just answered she grew up a middle-class kid and went into a whole litany about how her mom raised her sister and her, and that her mom worked very hard. To cut a long story short, she ended with, "We as Americans, we have a beautiful character." And again, the question was about how she planned on making life more affordable. So I don't know how she ever answered that question. I think she never did answer that question, but I'll let you guys figure that one out. So yeah, Vice President JD Vance, he said he would need a whole lot of alcohol to be able to come up with the word salad answers that Kamala Harris does. And you know what? Every day I just become more and more thankful for the people that I voted for in November. In fact, I got a friend in the UK who reached out recently. He said that every day he's losing hope for his country, but to see Trump turning America into the great country it was once again, it's amazing. So, you know, the Trump-Vance brand coming to a country near you, maybe. Drop a quick yes in the comment section down below. Hit the like button if I'm making sense to you guys so far. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications. Urgent warning, guys. The job market is collapsing. The economy is shrinking fast. Layoffs are skyrocketing. The Trump tariffs are already shaking industries. The media won't tell you this, but most high-paying jobs, they're disappearing. And the ones that do remain, they're soon going to be out of reach. But here's the good news, guys. I've put together a list of 30 plus jobs that pay around $100,000 per year without a degree. These are recession-proof jobs, and some are even set to explode in demand thanks to this economic shakeup. No college degree required, no student debt, just real jobs that pay. But I promise, guys, this list is not going to be available forever. So get it right now. Get it before these jobs are flooded by the competition. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link down below so you can get your free list of the 30 plus jobs that pay over $100,000 without a college degree. So download this list before it's too late. All right, guys, next up on our Democratic roast, we got comedian Bill Burr. This one's pretty unique in that he's basically roasted himself by showing how uninformed he is about Elon Musk. On The View of all places. Here, watch this.
Both political parties have incurred your wrath over the many years that you've been doing this. Both sides, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So
I don't know where you're going with this.
So you're bipolitical. So, you know.
I'm not into politicians at all. They don't make any money. They're set up to be bribed, and then in the end, they're all worth like $50 to $100 million. And everybody thinks one side is better than the other. You know, I don't know. It's a weird time, but I just feel like someone needs to bring the boiling water down to a simmer, and everybody on both sides, like if you watch CNN, Fox, you go online, or you listen to politicians, it's all, and then you walk out on the street, and someone's like, "Hey, how you doing?" You're like, "Good." So I don't think they're living in like a reality.
But is there anybody getting your ire up these days more than usual?
Nerds.
Yeah.
The nerds that own the politician,
tech
all these tech nerds that want to build robots because they don't know how to talk to hot women, they're gonna take over the world. They're gonna take over. They are literally gonna replace us. We're like beta right now, and they're coming out with like the VCR. And I think Elon has got the rockets going because they realize there's other Earths out there. Yeah. And they're gonna trash this one, and because they don't have any concern for it, and they're gonna move on to the next Earth. And you know, everybody's gonna be standing down here with your blue and red ties, going, "Wait a minute, I was on your side," and they're just gonna leave.
Well, you were talking about.
Well, like my uncle says, The View is the skid mark of daytime television. Fox News contributor called out Bill Burr over his skewed take on the billionaire. Here's what he had to say.
Bill Burr is like the next Michael Avenatti, Carly. He's on Jimmy Fallon one night. He's on The View the next. He's everywhere because he says patently stupid things about Elon Musk. He shows that genius has its limits while stupidity apparently does not, with comments like this, to your point, literally makes electric cars to help save the planet. If Democrats and alleged comedians like Bill Burr want to keep attacking Elon Musk, the guy who just helped rescue 2 astronauts who were stranded that you just talked about with that ridiculous pay raise in space, by the Biden-Harris administration, the guy who runs the 7th largest company in the United States in Tesla, and cheer on Tesla dealerships being firebombed and shot at. This is why the Democratic Party is polling lower than having shingles at this point. So, yeah, Bill Burr, we're going to see a lot of him now. He'll probably have a show on CNN within the week because you say mean things about Trump and Elon Musk, that apparently gets you a lot of airtime these days.
You want to take it or can I?
Okay.
You know what, guys? I just remembered seeing Bill Burr once at a local bar somewhere. I remember wanting to shake his hand and thanking him for being one of the more level-headed comedians out there. Now, I'm glad I didn't, considering how he's been swallowed by what can only be described as some Class A premium leftist BS. You know what I mean, guys? I mean, seriously, he has the nerve to call out Elon Musk for getting rockets going and supposedly trashing the earth, but he doesn't stop there because he knows criticizing billionaires is in these days. He also did it on The Tonight Show. He said that Elon Musk dresses like he just got out of a hot topic and he's trying to rewrite his origin story like he was Matthew McConaughey pulling into the high school. Okay. It just goes to show how much the Tesla CEO has been an easy target for liberal anger these days. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, she commented on this exact same thing, saying that their hatred for Donald Trump and by extension Elon Musk fuels pretty much everything that they do. And it's the only reason for the Democratic Party today. And it's unfortunate for the American people and for the Democratic voters who are looking to their party for real leadership. Well, they should become Republicans. Because if you look at what President Trump and Elon Musk are doing, they're making this government more efficient. They're being more accountable for the American people. They're securing our southern border, producing law and order in this country, securing our homeland. These are basic common sense principles. Bottom line here for Leavitt, the Democratic Party is the party of crazy. The Republican Party, thanks to Donald Trump, is the common sense party. Now, Elon Musk himself also commented how he thought the left, Democrats were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring. And yet they've been burning down cars. They're firebombing dealerships. They're firing bullets into dealerships. They're smashing up Teslas. As recently as last week, multiple vehicles at Tesla service centers in Las Vegas were set ablaze, and the FBI is not ruling out terrorism as a possibility. Elon Musk said that the deranged attacks are a sign that there's some kind of a mental illness thing that's going on here because this doesn't make any sense. He even alluded to larger forces potentially being behind these attacks that have been happening all over the country. Because as he pointed out on X, this level of violence is insane and deeply wrong. Tesla just makes electric cars and has done nothing to deserve these evil attacks. Now, for Elon Musk, it turns out when you take away the money that they're receiving fraudulently, they get very upset. And they basically want to kill him because he's stopping their fraud. And they want to hurt Tesla because they're stopping the terrible waste and the corruption in the government. Well, Trump's DOJ is on the job. Attorney General Pam Bondi released a saying that the swarm of violent attacks on Tesla property is nothing short of domestic terrorism. The Department of Justice has already charged several perpetrators with that in mind, including in cases that involve charges with 5-year mandatory minimum sentences. And they will continue investigations that impose severe consequences on those involved in these attacks, including those operating behind the scenes to coordinate and fund these crimes. Now, I don't know who exactly is pushing for these types of attacks, but I do know one thing. Sure ain't Joe Biden. President Trump just gave his predecessor the sickest burn when he revealed the only thing that he admired about the former president. Here, watch this.
What do you do when you can't sleep? Because you don't sleep. You're like me, you don't sleep at all. I know you just don't need a lot of sleep. But when you can't fall asleep, you wake up in the night, how do you go back to sleep?
Well, the only thing I totally admired about Sleepy Joe Biden is the following. He'd go to a beach. He'd lay down in a cot, barely able to get his feet through the sand. He'd lay down, and within minutes he's sleeping, and you have cameras watching him. I could never do that. I would never be able to sleep like that. That's about the only thing I think that was wonderful. He was a disaster. This man was a disaster. I don't sleep much. You don't sleep much. A lot of people that love what they're doing don't sleep much, I find. And so far, it's been okay.
I mean, that's got to be the roast that ends all roasts. I got to tell you guys, the way President Trump said it so casually too, right? The only thing he admired about Sleepy Joe is the following. He'd go to a beach, lay down on a cot, barely be able to get his feet through the sand. He'd lay down and within minutes he's sleeping and have cameras watching. Trump compared it to himself, saying that he doesn't sleep very much and that a lot of people that love what they are doing don't sleep much. Would you believe it? During Trump's first term, when White House physician Dr. Ronnie Jackson claimed that the commander-in-chief was getting by on 4 to 5 hours of sleep per night, I guess that explains how he's able to accomplish so much with just barely 3 months back in office. You know what I mean? Another dig at Biden that he did recently: yanking Secret Service protection from former first children Ashley and Hunter Biden, and doubting the legitimacy of the 46th president's pardons due to his use of auto pen. I mean, he does make a good point here. Maybe it was Joe's handlers signing all these pardons left and right. We don't know. What we do know for sure is that Trump and JD Vance are owning the heck out of the Democratic Party, and it's so satisfying to watch. Right, guys? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Also, more in-depth discussions like this in our recommended videos. Check those out that are coming up in just a second here. As always, appreciate y'all hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you next time.